Warning, this video isn't for anyone under the age of 16. If you're under 16 years old, please leave the video now because we do get into some adult type shit. Thank you. Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is your boy CharlesISanimeWorld, and welcome to my review of Undead Unluck Chapter 10. Guys, for me personally, this has been the best chapter in the series so far, Chapter 10. And I've been thinking to myself, what does this manga remind me of? And I figured it out. It's just like Hunter x Hunter. It has those Hunter x Hunter vibes, you know what I'm saying? Now, mind you, I'm not saying that it's just like it, but I get the same kind of feeling, those same kind of vibes when I'm reading this. Think about it this way. This whole chapter was so good, and when you really break it down, the only thing that really happened was that Andy got a suit. That's it. Like, this chapter was so good, and the only thing that really happened was that Andy got a suit, okay? And we talked about clothes, basically. So, let's get into this. The first thing I want to talk to you guys about are the union suits, because they're more than just a fashion statement, okay? For once, they're bulletproof and stab-proof. The necktie grants access to public services and organizations. So, if you ever watched John Wick, the way that John Wick uses those coins, that's the same way that the neckties work, but they're not coins. You know, you show them your necktie, I guess, and you can get anyone of government to help you. Police officers, fire department. I wonder, what is the extent? How far does it go? Does it go towards the Army, the Navy? You know, I mean, how far does it actually go? NASA? You know, I wonder how far does it go? Because it does says public services and organizations. So again, public services being buses, trains, you know, transportation, things of that nature. Now then, the emblem is necessary to participate in quests, you know, from that evil, crazy, fucked up book that we saw last week. But here's my thing. I think that the emblems have a deeper meaning. Like, they mean more. We just don't know exactly what they mean, but they're significant. And we're going to find out later on that I believe, and I'm just theorizing here, that those emblems are connected to that evil fucking book, and that because of that book and those emblems, you know, they've been getting power from the rest of them, you know, of the Union. I'm just saying, or something of that nature. You guys get what I'm saying, right? So Andy is running, you know, around, you know, trying to put those clothes on, and accidentally falls into Fuko. Now, you know, and touches her. And then magma, you know, erupts from the walls. So that leads me to believe that the Union's office, or its main building, is within a volcano. It has to be. You know, where is this magma going to be at? So I wonder, where in the world could it be? Fuji, in the Fuji Mountains? I mean, like where in the world? That's stupid. Not the Fuji Mountains. I can't think of the name of the volcano in Japan. I can't think about it, the name of it. But I know that there are volcanoes in Japan. So I'm wondering, it has to be somewhere in there, or could it actually be somewhere else, like Honolulu or something like that? But then at the end of the chapter, Andy said, like, you know, he can't wait to leave Japan. So obviously they should still be in Japan. But again, they were transported to the head office because they were in Russia. So again, where is the main office? It could be in Honolulu. It could be in Japan. We don't know. Okay, so let's talk about Miss Mew, you know, Shin's assistant. Now, to be honest with you guys, I'm not a fan of either of them, Shin or his assistant, Miss Mew. Now, to be honest, I get where the mangaka, the author, where he's coming from here. He wants us to be, you know, in love with these two characters, that they're going to play a huge role later on, and we're going to become, you know, familiarized with them, and they're going to become fan favorites. For me personally, I don't like neither one of them. I still believe that Gina should have lived, and if Gina would have lived, it would have made such a great love triangle between Gina, Fuko, and Andy, and they could have played on that, you know, so much, but they didn't. So anyway, Fuko and Miss Mew had a great moment where we learned that Miss Mew, basically, she can never be a part of the Union. She can never go out on quests or anything of that nature. She doesn't have an ability. She's just Master Shin's assistant. And she asks Miss Fuko to please take care of him. And Fuko's saying to herself, you're asking the wrong person. I could barely take care of myself. So that was a really good moment. So you remember what I said earlier on, guys, is this chapter was basically about Andy getting clothes. The clothes that he had earlier on that the Union gave to him was burnt up by the magma that came from Fuko's Unluck. So later on within this chapter, as we all saw, a Uma had escaped its cell, and it's called the Garment Uma Clothes. Now, its ability is that he can latch onto a person's body, transform into the garments that the person most desire. However, once he bewitches you with the garments, he takes total control of your body and starts running wild. Doesn't that sound a lot like Venom? If you're familiar with the Marvel Universe, the MCU, or Marvel Comics, or Marvel cartoons, doesn't that sound a lot like Venom? He gives you these special abilities, latches onto your body, and then sooner or later he'll take control over you. I mean, doesn't that sound a lot like Venom? So, and anyway, the creature attaches itself to Miss Mew, and Fuko does something that we've never seen before. She actually takes the lead, and she activates her Unluck ability and gets the garment off of Miss Mew. As it gets ready to attack Fuko, Andy jumps in, tackles her to save her, and gets the clothes himself. And from that point on, guys, the clothes are a slave to Andy, because Andy is never going to be pleased, because the clothes says, what the hell kind of desire is that? You want sturdy clothes that repair themselves when ripped, and that come when you call for them. And then Fuko's like, talk about a tall order. And then Fuko says, Andy, that unluck from when you touched me earlier on, it hasn't activated yet. And then we see like this light just comes through the ground and just destroys Andy. And then Andy gets back up like it's nothing because undead ability. And then he says, that repair took 15 seconds. Too slow. Make it faster. And then the clothes said, you're insatiable. So Andy has some new clothes, and, they're very, only Andy could wear these kind of clothes, because you need someone with the ability of undead, because Andy isn't going to be running around naked anymore. I know a lot of female fans are going to hate that. He's going to have clothes, and even when they get damaged, they're going to be able to repair themselves. And not only that, when he does get naked for some reason or another, they're actually going to be able to come back towards him. Now, here's my thing, though. When Andy had on all these clothes and everything like that, I wonder, is he going to still keep his katana, in his arm, or will he, carry it on his back now? I wonder how he's going to carry it with these clothes. And we find out, guys, that our crew are going to New York because apparently there's confirmation of reports of a rotting corpse wandering the streets of New York. Now, I know this is far-fetched, but since this is affecting the world, do you guys think that the coronavirus has something to do with this? Zombies, New York. I'm just saying, with everything that's going on in the world, do you think the mangaka took inspiration from what's going on in the world and said, let's have some of that within my manga? But hey, that'll do it. Thank you guys so much. That's been my review of this week. I will catch you guys next week for another chapter review of Undead Unluck. And hey, sayonara, suckers.